You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to episode 163. Mike and I here. Let's run through our weekly schedule. Yesterday, Monday, today's the 15th when we're recording, Mike. So the 17th, I had to do some math there. Mike and I played Hollywood. We talked about it last week. Those are our verses for this week. So Monday, yesterday, as you're listening to this, is Mike's playing the 15th hole, par 3, 163 yards. Mike, we did talk about that hole last week. So, people are listening now. They probably now watched it, and they could go back and listen to us talk about Hollywood and that hole specifically. Tuesday this week, you're listening to us now. Mike, wave to the camera, episode 163. Thank you for listening wherever you are consuming this. Rate, review, subscribe, all those good things that we always ask for. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I take on the 18th hole at Hollywood. Just a beautiful, Mike, we talked about it last week. That 16th, 17th, 18th finishing is a tremendous stretch of holes there. Beautiful par 4 heading back towards the clubhouse and the views that you see kind of from teeing up a little bit higher, going down to the fairway. Absolutely stunning. That 18th hole is really great. So that's my Ryan's verse this week. Thursday, Christina Persales is the 2024 New Jersey Women's Mid-Am Champion. We have her on. Mike and I interviewed her and had a wonderful interview with her. She's got a very bright future. She's got a lot of different, her hand in a lot of different things. So she talks about all things that she's got going on there. And then Friday this week, 3 in 60. Mike does the 3 in 30s because he's a significantly better golfer than I am. I take a little bit longer for my 60-second reels at Hollywood. So holes 12, 13, and 14 is we got to play all of them, but those are the ones that we recorded. And so Friday this week is going to be Hollywood's 3 in 60. So that is our weekly schedule for this week.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. If you're a homeowner or builder in New Jersey, there's one name you need to know for exterior and interior modeling. It's All County Exteriors. From roofing, siding, windows and doors, to kitchens, bathrooms, flooring and trim, they do it all. And with over 40 years of experience as a third-generation, family-owned company, you're getting more than just a contractor. You're getting a team that stands behind their work. Now, it is a great time to finally start that deck project you've been putting off before the winter weather hits and lead times pile up. And when you choose All County, you're not just getting top-tier craftsmanship. You're supporting a company rooted in real community values, proudly giving back through organizations like Make-A-Wish, St. Jude's, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. Right now, they're offering an instant 20% off a limited time. Call 732-370-2780 or email info@allcountyonline.com to schedule your free consultation. All County Exteriors, quality you can trust from people who care. All right, so let me hit you here with the fast facts. Obviously, John Pack did make the cut at the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. Nothing really to brag about in terms of what John did. But he's got his final tournament of the fall season going on this coming week. It's the RSM. And, his back's against the wall. Frankly, he needs to win this week. Otherwise, he's off to Q-School, which, will begin. He'll probably get to final stage and be exempt all the way to the end, which will begin December 11th. So he's got a few weeks to kind of get his things in order before he heads out there. But he needs to win. So they're down there in Georgia, RSM Classic. Best of luck to John. Hopefully he finds magic in a bottle there.
Mike, do you know do all those PGA Tour guys that have to go to Q-School, do they get automatically exempted to final stage?
It's got to be it's a guess. It's
Yeah.
a guess, but I'm going to say yes. I mean, I don't think they're going to be forced into going to second stage. I know they don't have to go to first stage. My assumption is they get, straightforward right all the way to the final stage.
Right. They've kind of been bouncing around there. I would think that they get that too. Yeah. And first stage has already happened. So, you would think at least it's set up where they play this week. And if they don't, they can still get to second stage if they need to. So, all right. Best of luck, John. Make sure you, keep playing hard. Mike, let's we kind of again had a nice end to the fall there. This is coming out on after posting season has ended. Posting season ended the 14th this year. So that was the last day, kind of the official day of golf season. So we've been kind of talking about our recap, and we had quite a good fall, but you got down to play Hidden Creek. I didn't get a chance to get down there with you, but let's talk about Hidden Creek, because that is, no pun intended, I feel like that's a kind of a hidden South Jersey gem that is, doesn't get a lot of love, doesn't get a lot of flowers, but it is one that when you talk to people about it, it is of the highest quality. So let's talk about your day down there.
Well, yeah, first and foremost, obviously, big time thank you to Mirza, the general manager out there at Hidden Creek, and his entire outside operations team, because, when, I had gone down there, as soon as I pulled into the lot, somebody was there to meet and greet me at my car, grab my clubs, took me into the locker room. When you talk about first class service, that place just, is unique, and they do it right, like a lot of other spots. But I think the idea that, Mirza had mentioned to his outside ops team that, I was coming down, and the way they were so cordial and asking about the podcast, what do you do? I wish I knew earlier about it, things like that. And really just having a conversation about all the things and places that we visited, the people we've had on, was one of those things that, like, when you're tying and lacing up your shoes, it's like, wow, you talk about hospitality, you talk about people putting people first. Mirza and his team obviously do a phenomenal job down there with doing that. So, having relationships and connections and being able to network with people like him and having him open his doors like that, being able to film all 18 holes while you're out there. It's one of those things that it's just fun to be involved and be around people like that. So, big time to start the whole thing off. Mirza, thank you so much for allowing, me to come out there to film and just really get to see your golf course in prime time shape.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. That always, when a course has that connection, right? Because we've been places where the course is phenomenal, right? And it's in perfect condition, but the outside is, unorganized, or it's not as on top. But then you go to some of these other places where it's, they get your bags, they meet you right away, and they're just on top of everything, and just every, I can carry my bags from the car to the clubhouse and put them. I can drop them up at the bag, sure. But like when you have a nice little extra touch of like someone else grabbing it, they know your name, there's got a bag tag for you, whatever the case may be. Like sometimes the details, those little things matter, and those little tiny details are a nice little touch.
Yeah, and it being a Coore Crenshaw golf course, I think that's another big time thing about the course, because anytime that you're talking about architects and who put it together, there's not many of those specifically here in New Jersey. And, there's a reason why it's 18th in the state, according to Golf Digest. There's a reason why it's 12th in Golf Week as well. So you kind of knew, like, all right, come in the fall, if your golf course isn't in great shape at this time of the year, best of luck really to you and your superintendent on keeping your job. But you get out there, and there's just so many unbelievable things about that golf course. And it's not only the design, where I kind of like the idea of being around trees and have separation in between holes. I know some people like the modern look of getting rid of everything, but the idea that you're going out there and you got an entire golf course to yourself, you don't know where anybody else is, it is something that I think is more old school. And I do value and appreciate knowing that when you're out there, you do feel like you have the course to yourself. And I do think from a golfing perspective, the course itself, the fairways are wide, so it's somewhat generous off the tee. But man, oh man, we've played some special places this year and in years past. And those greens at that golf course were in unbelievable shape. And I know there's a lot of times you can look the other way when you're seeing fairways maybe a little beat up, or a bunker that's not raked or has rocks in it, or a tee box that's chewed up. But this place didn't have any of that. And the greens were just unbelievable. They rolled as pure as they could. They were as fast as greens as we've played all year. It's one of those spots that, like, it says Hidden Creek in the name, and it is 1000% one of those hidden gems in New Jersey that just doesn't get talked about as much because it is in the southern part of the state. Whereas I think if you took that golf course and you put it up in the northern area of the state where things are way more densely populated, it's completely different in terms of where people talk about it, where it's rated. But I do think as you get there, man, oh man, it is such a special, special spot. I got some things here, so let me just kind of continue my rant here. One of the things I got a lot when I was out there that day is like, where's the creek? It's always like, oh, where's the creek that everybody talks about? Hidden Creek. Oh, there's this creek that everybody talks about. And they sell in the pro shop, they sell shirts that says, where's the creek? Because if you play there, you don't see a creek. And you kind of wonder why the golf course is named that. And I obviously took that question to Sean, their assistant golf pro that was there that day. And we kind of were, chopping it up a little bit. And I said to him, like, all right, the name, Hidden Creek. People always want to know, like, where does it come from? What's it about? Because it's not a town. It's not an area where people are from. It's not after a famous person. I said, well, where is this famous creek that the golf course is kind of named after? And he said,
Mike,
it's
just to confirm with you, I pulled up Google Maps, and there's no water anywhere near. It's got this like little Tesla charging station, has a little pond, next to it. But you're right. There's no creek. I expected there to be like, again, a river, a creek, something that saw multiple holes. So they were like, okay, we're going to name it this. So keep going.
So,
I'm interested.
So I started asking, I said, okay, where are we going with this whole thing? And he said, here's what I guess the allure or the history or the background about it. And he says this, and I'm going to quote him here because I'm reading from what he said to me. Some say it runs left of 4 behind the out of bounds. Others swear it crosses 6 underground and shows itself only after heavy rain. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's a lot. And he said the original owners said Coore and Crenshaw unbuilt an extra 9 that had a visible creek, and that's where the name stuck. So I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy that lore about the place is gone. It's unbeknownst to anybody. So it's part mystery. It's got to be part humor. But I think that's also exactly what makes Hidden Creek so memorable is this hidden spot that I think is there, but you don't see it. But at one point it was there. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting tidbit about the place.
Can you re-explain that to me? Coore and Crenshaw unbuilt. So was there a course here? And there
must have been a third 9.
Okay.
And when they were redeveloping and switching things around, they must have kind of taken out 9 holes and maybe built some of the cottages, some of the lodging, different things that go on back there. Okay. So they just routed it from a 27-hole golf course to 18 holes and rerouted it while also building these extra cottages, which then brought the point of when they built everything or redesigned it, that creek disappeared.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was kind of an outside the box type thing. I knew I had to ask the question because people were DMing us as the round was going on, like, "Oh, did you find the creek? Where's the creek?" And I was like, "It's a great question, because you're just enjoying the golf course. You're not really finding where the creek is because you don't want the ball to go in the creek." So, yeah, I don't know where that creek is. Didn't see a creek.
Is there any water on the course at all? Doesn't look like it.
Oh,
doesn't
God,
look like there's another.
No,
it doesn't look like there's another
was...
pond or even like. Oh wait, what's it? Nope, that's a tree shadow. Again, just looking on Google Maps, it doesn't look like there's any water anywhere.
Yeah, I don't believe
other
there was
than this Tesla charging station, solar farm kind of thing that looks like it's just north of it.
And so I never found the creek to answer some of the DMs that came through. As the leaves begin to turn into those stunning fall colors, there's no better place to enjoy it than Galloping Hill Golf Course in Union County, New Jersey. Whether you're looking to play a round of championship-level golf, plan the wedding of your dreams, or relax with casual indoor or outdoor dining at a modern gastropub, Galloping Hill has it all. Not many public golf facilities can boast a top-ranked 18-hole golf course, a top 10 in the country 9-hole course, and a top 50 in the country learning center that is home to one of the only golf simulators at a municipally owned golf course in the country. The Swing Suite at Galloping Hill can be booked for an hour to work on your game or multiple hours to have an awesome hangout with your friends while you watch the game. Enjoy the bar-style foods and drinks while playing some of the most famous courses in the world on this simulator. To top it all off, Galloping Hill will be hosting the first stage of Corn Ferry Tour Q-School this October. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course. I will say this. You want to talk about, I don't even know how the phrase of like halfway houses or cart girls, things like that. I don't know if a golf course that I've seen does it better. Okay. They call it comfort stations. Okay. And
I like it already.
One's called like Nucky's Playhouse or Nucky's House, in reference to Nucky from Atlantic City. If you think back to the TV show on HBO, I can't remember his last name, but he was heavily involved in a lot of illegal
Boardwalk Empire.
Yep. A lot of legal activities that were going on. So like the Atlantic City connection. So you walk into this, what is called a comfort station. And I swear to God, I took a video, it'll eventually come out, that has an unbelievable array of things. You want to talk about a transfusion, all kind of like mixing it up so you can just pour it out. You had any type of drink you possibly could think of. They had drawers that pulled out that had candy out the wazoo. You had all different chip stations that you could have grabbed something. There was all these. It was one of the things that I said to myself, like, wow, you want to talk about like taking, a halfway house and making it this like special mystery little, like location. Man, oh man, this place did it right. And for someone who doesn't typically eat on the golf course as it is, I mean, I must have rated peanut M&Ms like it was my job. I mean, I was taking packs of that. I had peanuts. I had drinks. It was like an unbelievable treat on top of playing an unbelievable golf course. So these comfort stations, they have one in the front and one in the back. Man, oh man, it is. It's something I don't know how to explain it. It was like this little shack. I don't want to even say shack because I don't even think that's doing it justice. It's like this little house, but it's not really a house. It's like it's like a hut. Amazing. You kind of at first think maybe it's like an irrigation area. Like this is like just like a little spot where they must have electrical things going on. And then you walk inside and it's like the seas part and it's like, wow, you want to drink any type of food, candy, you name it. And no one's even working in there. So it's like, help yourself. And nothing I like more is like when adults get to do adult things. I don't need someone to babysit me. Like, hey, listen, you want a candy bar? Grab a candy bar, write your number down and you move on. Like that's, listen, unbelievably done. Well played. Comfort station was a new term for me that I learned being out there. It wasn't a halfway house, and it wasn't a cart girl. It was a comfort station, and boy, oh boy, did it define what a comfort station was.
Again, just looking on Google Maps, they must be hidden underneath the trees because I don't see any. I don't see that on there.
If you go to the first hole, the green, there it was like back right corner of the first green. So if I was like looking at the green head on, it's in like
I don't even know
right,
which hole the first hole is. Like which way am I
I
going, right or left?
It depends on like I'm not looking at the map in front of me, so I just know that if I was walking to the property, the first hole's on my left. There's like the putting green, and there's a first hole kind of right next to it, right next to the big, large putting green.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure.
Is it, how comparable is it to those like huts at Galloway?
Well, Galloway is more just like it's like an umbrella with just like different spots underneath the umbrella in a sense. This is like a 4 walls. It's like its own little room.
You walked into it?
Inside. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, so it's not outside where you just can, it's like you walk inside like a 1 bedroom.
Gotcha.
Loft.
Studio apartment.
Yeah. Studio. Yeah. And all these things are right around in there. And then obviously, I guess, members leave their number on a sheet of paper that's in there if they wanted something. It was just one of those things that, like, you talk about little things make the biggest difference. Like that little touch I was like, wow, you're not have to go, you're not waiting for the cart girl to drive around. You're not like, oh, I got to wait to the halfway house at 9 or 10 to get it. It's like, they got 2 spots centrally located, grab and go as you need. Really, really a cool little, add on to what I already think was a phenomenal spot.
That's really pretty cool. Cause I thought I think the halfway house or those stations at Galloway is kind of what I'm envisioning as you're talking to me or as you're talking about it. And that kind of is what I was envisioning. But if it's like a room where that's a much different setup or situation there.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I'll give you 3 holes about the golf course that I think were my favorite 3 holes at Hidden Creek. I think I could probably go through a lot of them, but here are my favorite 3 holes. The first one is the 9th hole, par 5. 9's one of those holes that just flows. It's wide off the tee, perfect lines to the green, and what I think has the best backdrop that all the holes have, with that patio, with that clubhouse sitting right there. I think if I could do it, I would actually have 18 be that 9th hole because of how good 9 actually is in terms of how it finishes. My second hole here is hole number 11. It's that short par 3 that messes with everyone. It's a tiny green, no room to bail out. You hit it long, good luck. But if you hit a good shot, you probably can make a birdie. Small little bunkers. I think it's one of those little par 3s that people are so all about the 200-yard holes. This one wasn't that. 130 yards, small little dime-sized green. Hit a good shot, reward it. Hit a bad one. All I can say is you're scrambling to make a bogey. And then the last one I had a tough time with is figuring out like what I was going to put as my 3rd favorite hole out there. And I decided to go with 15 for really one reason and one reason only, is that 15 is the only dog leg out there. Every other hole is kind of like navigating around a fairway bunker, a couple of trees. You had to hit it straight. But
it looks like it was a double dog leg. Kind of goes 15, left and then
15 it's 15 is just strictly a dog leg, just the only one that really like kind of goes hard. And I liked it because thankfully it goes left. So it kind of suited my eye right from the get-go that the one true, was there a little bends here and there? Sure. But this one went like hard to the side that I always hit it to. So I thought it was, the one hole out there that favored the draw. And one of the things I did find out about 15 is that it's one of the most photographed holes out there. And I think when you're thinking about Hidden Creek, to me, it was like, it's Hidden Creek at its best, that hole specifically, because it just had so much character to it. So, those are my 3 favorite holes. I kind of like that there. I kind of had a hard time deciding what the 3rd hole would be because a lot of them were so good. And I kind of thought the front 9 was really good. And then I got to the back and I was like, man, that just is so much better. But
Wow.
there's a reason why, it's not always about finding the creek at Hidden Creek. But it's finding about what makes you love that golf game so much. And I think that place really had it.
So what I meant by double dog leg is you got to go over, like, there, it looks like there's, like a kind of a waste area. It looks like it's got a couple bunkers, maybe 50 yards short of the green, that then looks like it makes like a left turn, a right turn after that. So maybe not necessarily, maybe you're going over that, but I do see what you mean by, like, it wouldn't officially be a dog leg.
Yeah.
But as I was looking at it on the map, it looks like it. But now if you head over to their website, they have like the course tours. So I was watching the 9th, 11th, and now 15th holes for you. So yeah, it looks beautiful. Really does. Do you have a hole, if those are your three favorite, do you have one that would be like an underrated, or like I liked this feature, I've never seen this, or this was something cool that like stuck out? Do you have one more that's like again, maybe not a favorite, but something that's like, hey, this was a neat little feature, or this was a cool little thing?
Yeah, I would have said number 2. I would have said probably number 2, even though I didn't care for the tree on the right hand side. It was kind of reminding me a lot about 14 at Hollywood, where that one random tree was in the way. But I do like how they had fairway bunkers on number 2 at Hidden Creek that was dead smack in the middle.
Yeah.
And one of the things about Hidden Creek is, like, the bunkers are always in play, and I value hitting the golf ball straight. So it's like, I think the tree line to me kind of makes and allows me to be, maybe score a little better. Whereas if I don't hit the ball as far as you and you can bomb it and get away with it, it makes it a little more harder for me, because I just can't do some of the things other people can. So, like, really thinking your way around. And number 2, not only was it a tough driving hole, but that green, man, oh man, the way it slopes from left to right and how fast it is, I thought I had a good putt on one of my putts, and man, oh man, it went like 4 or 5 feet by, and I'm like, I don't think I even touched it. So I would say 2 was probably like honorable mention type of hole.
Okay. I mean, again, another beautiful hole with, it looks like, they got the drone kind of footage going over, and it does look like it's going to fall off on the right-hand side there. So, and that bunker in the middle it looks like it's pretty deep too.
Yeah.
Like, if you go in it, you might not be reaching the green if you're in it. Like, that's not just a fairway bunker. That looks like it's rather deep.
Yeah, it's definitely one that yes, you'd be hitting a wedge to the green because it's not that far from that bunker to it, but the lip is rather steep. So it's kind of, I guess if you're a good enough player to get the ball up very quickly, you could. But I know I'd probably be chipping out sideways.
Hey, well, I'm glad you had a nice day. Glad it was, good weather and the course was great and all that stuff. That's all good stuff. Again, just continue rolling the good fall that we've had.
No doubt about it. So thank you again to Mirza. Thank you to his team over there. Thank you to Sean for delivering some of this information. And it is one of those spots, I know for us, for you people that live up there in the north, you get invited to Hidden Creek. I tell you what, I know it might be a drive, but it's one you won't ever forget.
Well, there you go.
George Wall Ford in Red Bank, New Jersey is family owned and operated, proudly serving New Jersey residents with superior customer service since 1960. Rye, share your story about your experience there.
I can't say enough good things about George Wall Ford. I needed a new car. I had an old. I loved the brand that I had. I loved, it was an SUV, but had 165,000 miles on it. It was just time, So I hopped on over to George Wall Ford. I saw our guy Jerry, and Jerry and his team were awesome. I mean, from stem to stern, they're there. They're helping. They're knowledgeable. They have so many cars on the lot that you can go in and say, "Hey, I want a sunroof, a navigation. I want this kind of rims on it." There's a great chance that they have that car with all your specs, the color, all that thing. I like to be higher in my car. And I went and saw Jerry. He pointed me in the right direction. And again, it's awesome to have that kind of help and support from your salesman to the finance guy to to even they got somebody who helps you set up your car, right? I got an app on my phone now that's got my auto start on it. I can locate my car if I don't know where it is. I could take a trip to Japan if I wanted to and be like, did I lock my car? And I can go into the app and lock my car. So just the hands-on approach over there is incredible. So if you need a car, head on over to George Wall and go ask for Jerry. They were awesome there. Again, stem to stern from everybody. I can't say enough good things about it. It was an unbelievable experience.
There isn't a better place to shop for a brand new car. Just call 732-704-1932 and ask for Jeremy Wall. George Wall Ford in Red Bank for all your car buying needs.
Mike, I have a few questions for you. Changing topics here. I saw something on Instagram, and it said only a few golfers have achieved 2 or more of these things. And it caught my eye. I wanted to watch it, so I figured I'd bring it to your attention here. There's 10 things on this list. Okay? Number 1, have a hole-in-one. I know you got 3. There you go. Held a single-digit index.
Yes.
There's 2. Had a round with 5 birdies or more.
Yes.
Won a club championship.
Don't have that money.
No. Played golf at 3 open venues.
No. I played in a state open at once.
No. 3. I took that as like open where like the PGA Tour had an open and played the golf course. So like I've played Bethpage, so I counted that as one. Like they hosted a I guess I don't know if it's an open or a PGA championship or whatever, but I took it as like a major. So I don't know how many you have there.
I mean, regular PGA Tour courses or major courses?
Majors.
Yeah. I mean, so Marion, I'm sure at one point held, they held one.
Yep.
I played Bethpage Black.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2. Pine Valley's never hosted a tournament.
We played Baltusrol this year.
And
we played Ridgewood.
So I guess the answer is yes.
Yeah. So I that's what I thought. That's how I took it. I don't know if that's how it was intended, but that's kind of how I mean, it does say at 3 open venues. So if we were to look at like US Opens, like I could look and have to go through that. But you add that to like, I've also played Torrey Pines, so I could add that to my list there. Had a round with
Pinehurst number 2.
Pinehurst 2. Yep. So yeah, that's one where if you've gotten around, I think that's not, if you're any kind of golfer who travels a little bit, I think that's probably one of people's, that they're getting most of those. Number 6 was had a round with 0 bogeys.
Never, no shot. I mean, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to say no. I've definitely had bogeys in a round of golf. I've done 9 holes. I've done 9 holes, but not 18 off the top of my head.
I'm going to guess that I have had a round with 0 bogeys, but it's because they were pars or double.
Well, that I could probably attest to that as well.
Par, double, triple, birdie, par, triple. That's more what I if I have it, it's that. Had 4 rounds in a row with no 3 putts.
Never. That would be. I'd probably quit the game.
If you had 4 rounds in a row with no 3 putts.
I'd be Tiger Woods.
Number 8, hit 18 greens in regulation.
Never. No shot. Definitely have missed greens.
I think that might be the hardest thing to do because I think that most people are at least, like if you were to ask me, what do they have a tougher time with, driving the ball or hitting a green? I think most people have trouble hitting the green because I think you have to be very accurate with your irons, and it's not just wedges, right? It's that 100. You hit a good drive and you still got 170 in. Now you have a 6 iron that you got to hit and be able to get onto the green. Like that's tough to do. Both keep it straight and or not, have it roll off or have something happen. So 18 greens in regulation, I think, is virtually impossible for regular golfers. For guys that, some of the guys we've had on, like, has Costanza done that? Has Pat Wilson done it? Does Austin do that? Those guys, not talking about. I'm sure they're doing it, but anyone who is above what handicap?
I'd say
above a zero.
I'd say a scratch golfer. I mean, I bet you it's few and far between.
Right. So I thought that one was super tough. Right. Won a match 10-8.
Again, I don't even know the last time I played match play.
Right. So that's not like that's played very often. So I don't know how some of these are worded. I actually took that this might be coming from Europe, because it says, like, it doesn't say a single digit index. It says a single figure index. And I don't know, some of how these are worded makes me think that it's not fully American. And in Europe, they do play more match play. Like, they have, like, when I go to Ireland, like, they have scorecards that are on the scorecard is set up for how a match goes. So I do think that's it might be the case, but that's more where this is coming from. And then, speaking of which, playing outside of the countries, played golf in more than 5 countries.
I don't know if I've played golf outside the country. Maybe I played Dominican Republic one time as a kid.
I would say that's outside the country. It's outside of America.
That's probably it, though.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played, never played in Canada, never played in Mexico. I've played in Ireland and America, and I think that's it for me. So, but those are just fun. I thought that'd be a quick little fun thing. See how many you got. You had a hole in one. You've had a single digit index. You've had a round with more than 5 birdies. You've played 3 open venues, and that was it.
That's it. Yeah, I think it was just 4. I think that's
4.
how I counted 4. Yeah.
Again, it says only few golfers have achieved 2 of these things. So you're more than double. So it's pretty good.
Well, when you play as much golf as I do, I hope I can check a few boxes off.
Mike, the last thing that we got to kind of chat about, or that I wanted to bring up, was our good friend at North Jersey, Brian Mackey, is moving on to bigger things. He was very fortunate. He got a great opportunity. He's the new director of instruction at Ballin Isles. I don't know if it's country club or golf club down in Florida. It's an opportunity I don't know if he could pass up. There's 18 holes. It's golf in Florida. It's a different animal than New Jersey, and still chat with him to figure out some of his details. But I do just want to give him a shout out and say best of luck, and thank you for being so generous to us. Thank you for all your hospitality, and I'll see you in Florida.
Yeah, congrats. But anytime that you're moving from the Garden State to the Sunshine State, there's got to be a reason. And maybe he likes the sun a little bit more, or he's got some family down there. But Brian, best of luck.
Yeah,
I know you'll kill it.
Absolutely. Mike, you got anything else for today?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out here to Tyler McCardle. This week was the Assistant PGA Professional Championship down there in Florida, and 36-hole cut. They took the low 70 scores and ties. There was 6 assistants here from New Jersey that went down there. Only one, Tyler being the guy that actually made the cut. So it's a big time accomplishment. In terms of what does he get? In order for him to have received something, he would have needed to win the actual tournament to receive a spot in next year's PGA Championship. And he'd have to finish in the top 4 to automatically advance to next year's Assistant PGA Professional Championship. And as we speak right now, he's on the cusp of doing that. He's sitting T13 heading to his final round. So he's got an outside chance of kind of making that happen. And he's over there at Hollywood, a place that we just were at. So hopefully he got the job done and finished inside the top 4, so he doesn't have to go through, the qualifying aspect of things, because as a lot of people know, trying to qualify for things is kind of a one-shot stop. And sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. So hopefully he gets it done down there.
Yeah, I was hoping that when you were talking, I was thinking, is that something that what happens if they win it? So you're saying the winner moves on to the PGA Championship next year with the PPC is for the pros. This is for,
this is the same thing it's the same thing just for the assistant side. So it's a PPC just for the assistants only. They don't get the same amount of people into the PGA Championship as the regular PPC does, but I guess if you do win it, they're going to give you one spot. So
very cool. Yeah, good luck. You got anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I got for today.
All right.
Big Hidden Creek episode.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on, and hopefully, things continue to grow.
All right. Well, hey, that's it for Mike and I today. Make sure you stay tuned on Thursday for our interview with Christina. Till then, cheers.